Yeah, first time I smoked. I don't suggest this, but I was 13. Maybe, yeah, 13, 12 or 13.
You know, there's a short life in
Why
the
do you
acting
think that
world.
is with the creative side?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take. You're going through so much to try and deal.
Justin Bieber has finally broken his silence, and the way he's done it has sent a shockwave through the entire entertainment world that might never fully recover. In a stunning courtroom revelation, Bieber has stepped forward as a key witness against Sean Diddy Combs in a federal trial that threatens to bring down the music mogul's vast empire. The allegations are nothing short of disturbing claims of manipulation, exploitation, and hidden horrors that allegedly took place during what was once a close relationship between the two. This isn't just another celebrity scandal making headlines, it's a reckoning of monumental proportions. Bieber has described his experience as nothing more than an escape, saying, "I was just young, you know, like everyone in the industry and in the world, experimenting and trying to figure things out." Once hailed as pop's golden boy, Bieber now steps into the spotlight not as a chart topper but as a star witness in a high-profile trial that could rewrite everything we thought we knew. Sources close to the case say Bieber's testimony was raw, emotional, and deeply unsettling. He recounted chilling incidents from his teenage years, back when he was still grappling with the dizzying effects of sudden fame. At that time, Diddy was a towering figure in music and seemed to be a mentor to Bieber. But beneath that polished surface, Bieber now claims, lurked a far darker truth. This case isn't just about shocking testimonies, there are rumors swirling about concrete evidence, including a secret network of surveillance cameras allegedly installed in Diddy's homes and private events. Insiders whisper that these hidden cameras captured footage of everyone present: celebrities, rising stars, and most disturbingly, vulnerable teens like Bieber. The burning question now, what exactly was recorded on those tapes? How many lives were shattered, and how many long-buried secrets are finally about to come to light? Bieber's recent posts have been some of his most direct cries for help yet. Fans are alarmed, watching his social media closely, sensing something is very wrong. He addressed those worried about him with a raw honesty, writing, "People keep telling me to heal. Don't you think if I could have fixed myself, I would have already?" The burden of these allegations has weighed heavily on Bieber over the years. We've seen glimpses of his struggles, public breakdowns, battles with addiction, candid interviews hinting at a painful past. But what the public never fully grasped was just how much of that pain might be linked to his time under Diddy's influence. People don't understand how serious it got. Bieber once shared in a reflective interview, "It was terrifying." Now, by testifying, Bieber appears ready to face those fears head-on, no matter the cost. The courtroom drama is also peeling back layers on Diddy's infamous puffy camps, once marketed as mentorship retreats designed to help young talent flourish. Bieber alleges these camps were anything but innocent, claiming they were grooming grounds where young artists were manipulated, all under the pretense of professional development. Bieber isn't the only one. Other stars, including Usher, have hinted at unsettling experiences at these camps, but their stories have never fully come to light. Could Bieber's testimony finally break the silence and encourage others to step forward? "It's an unhealthy environment," Bieber said. "Eventually, you're going to cross the line. Who knows what happened to Philip? What Heath had to go through to get where he was. There are things people carry that they never get over, and some just keep getting high to escape it. And when you lose your man, your anchor, the pain doesn't just disappear." Mounting evidence against Diddy has been steadily piling up, with federal agents recently raiding his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. They seized electronics, documents, and shockingly, over 1,000 bottles of lubricating oil. These raids reportedly uncovered disturbing links to the infamous freak-offs, elaborate and highly secretive parties allegedly organized by Diddy himself. Prosecutors claim these events featured orchestrated performances involving stars as well as individuals lured into compromising and dangerous situations. When asked about the so-called man card, insiders explained that a real man doesn't take it tits, something you give up, and once it's gone, you don't get it back. This is not just hearsay. Witnesses have described these freaks as chaotic, drug-fueled gatherings where nothing was off limits. One former associate even alleged that these parties were filmed without the participants' knowledge. And if those tapes exist, they could be the smoking gun that seals Diddy's fate. The twist: some of these recordings reportedly feature high-profile names, people now scrambling to distance themselves from the scandal. The fallout could be catastrophic, not only for Diddy, but for the entire music industry. Meanwhile, a new documentary called "What Happened to Justin Bieber" has sparked further conversation. After speaking with those close to Bieber, it's clear his mental health struggles have been ongoing for years. Once celebrated as the boy next door with a voice that melted hearts, Bieber is now described by insiders as a man haunted by his past, battling depression and trying to come to terms with painful memories. A source close to him shared, "It's been years of silence, years of trying to move on, but there comes a point when you can't run anymore." Perhaps that's why Bieber chose to come forward now. His testimony isn't just about himself, it's about justice for others who may have suffered in silence. The courtroom has become a platform exposing a larger narrative about abuse of power in an industry that has long protected its biggest stars. One legal expert chillingly compared the trial's potential impact to infamous cases like Epstein and Pelé, promising to reveal years of hidden atrocities. Diddy's legal team has fought back hard, dismissing the allegations as baseless and labeling the case a witch hunt. However, with mounting evidence and growing testimonies, their defense is beginning to sound hollow. In court, Diddy maintains a calm, stoic facade, occasionally nodding to family members to project calmness. But, behind the scenes, sources say he is panicking. Having been denied bail twice, he now faces harsh conditions at a Brooklyn detention center, notorious for violence and corruption. Many who attended the Puffy parties believed there would be no consequences, only to be caught in a web of manipulation and betrayal. One insider explained that the issue goes beyond simple power, it's about losing yourself, chasing something you can never truly grasp. As the trial unfolds, rumors swirl about executives in the music industry scrambling to cover their tracks. With at least 5 major figures reportedly under internal investigation, the looming question is who else will be dragged into the scandal. Will more witnesses come forward? Will more tapes emerge? Hollywood is watching closely, gripped by the possibility. At the center of it all stands Justin Bieber, whose decision to testify has turned him into a symbol of hope for those who have felt powerless. Yet fans remain curious, how much has Bieber truly revealed? After all, this is the same Bieber who once shared videos of hanging out with Diddy, calling it a dream come true. What once seemed innocent is now being viewed through a far darker lens. When asked if he ever refused an invitation, Bieber responded, "Hell yeah," revealing that Puffy repeatedly invited him to be his acting coach. But during these visits, Puffy would just sit silently, staring, offering no direction. Adding to the intrigue is the eerie silence from some of Bieber's closest peers, including Usher, leaving everyone wondering what really happened behind closed doors. Usher, who had a close relationship with Diddy during his teenage years, has so far remained tight-lipped about his own experiences. In a resurfaced interview, he admitted to attending Diddy's camps as a teenager but refused to go into detail. When asked if he would ever send his own kids to such camps, his answer was a firm, resounding hell no. Bieber has also shared moments that reveal the strange dynamic he experienced with Diddy, recalling how Puffy would invite him over, sit silently staring while Bieber played music, leaving him confused about what was expected. Even Bieber's assistant hinted that Puffy wanted to get closer to him, but then all communication stopped abruptly. What about the unnamed stars who attended those infamous parties, camps, and so-called mentorship sessions? How many of them are now wrestling with their own painful memories, wondering if they too were victims? And how many are staying silent out of fear of what might come next? We're only scratching the surface of this explosive story. Courtroom revelations, hidden tapes, and whispers of more victims waiting in the wings. It all points to a scandal with the power to reshape the entertainment industry forever. At the center of it stands Justin Bieber, a man who chose to break his silence no matter the cost. There's a difference, insiders say, between a guy walking into a room and a man walking in with a man's pride and boundaries not to be crossed. Diddy's arrest has shattered the illusion of the glamorous, untouchable world of music, exposing cracks long hidden beneath the surface. For years, his empire wasn't just a symbol of success, it was a fortress built on lavish parties, powerful connections, and star-studded collaborations, an image of invincibility. But prosecutors allege that behind all the luxury and fame was a far darker reality, a methodical system of control, manipulation, and exploitation. If the rumors are true, this trial isn't just about Diddy, it's about an entire industry, scrambling to distance itself from one of its most powerful figures, fearing the fallout to come. Executives, artists, and insiders are reportedly on edge, with at least half a dozen major names under investigation. Some household names linked to the infamous freak-offs, described in court as orchestrated events where boundaries were blurred, trust was betrayed, and lives changed forever. As federal investigators dig deeper, the industry's once solid facade is crumbling. Who else was complicit? Who looked the other way? And who will be next to face the spotlight? One insider shared, "I've lost business because I refuse to compromise, to play roles, to kiss anyone's ass." The man card means everything. The most chilling piece of this puzzle, the alleged secret surveillance network Diddy used to maintain control, hidden cameras in his homes and private events, recording stars, executives, and friends without their knowledge. These recordings weren't just for personal use, they were leverage, tools to keep people silent and compliant. The mere thought of what those tapes could reveal has sent shockwaves through Hollywood. What if they surface? How many careers could be destroyed overnight? How deep does this rabbit hole go? Despite it all, some insiders admit they're not done with Hollywood yet, still grinding to build their legacies. But the industry's silence on these issues is deafening. For years, Diddy was celebrated as a trailblazer, a mogul who used his success to elevate others. But now, with these allegations exposed, his empire is being re-evaluated under a far darker lens. The public demands answers. How many people knew what was going on behind closed doors? How many were complicit? And how many are desperately rewriting their stories before the truth catches them? Justin Bieber's testimony has been a pivotal turning point but came at a heavy emotional cost. Sources reveal he's struggled deeply with revisiting his past, reliving trauma he tried to bury for years. For Bieber, testifying wasn't just about justice, it was reclaiming his narrative. His courage has opened the floodgates, encouraging others to come forward with their stories. New voices are hinting at an abuse pattern far bigger than anyone imagined. This is not just one man's downfall, it's an unraveling with staggering implications. Diddy's alleged actions expose systemic issues within the entertainment world, showing how unchecked power can corrupt and leave lasting scars. And now, the story is only just beginning. With the trial now underway, the entire industry is being forced to confront its own complicity. How many times were glaring red flags ignored? How many warnings brushed aside in the name of protecting profits? And how many more stories remain buried, waiting to be told? Just recently, explosive new audio surfaced from the Diddy trial of voicemail. Diddy left for the Jane Doe who has been testifying for days. He sounds visibly annoyed, complaining about what he perceives as her giving him the silent treatment, saying, "I got a busy life. I can't be dealing with your silent treatment, and we got to keep it moving." For years, Diddy's name was synonymous with success. His legendary annual white parties drew the biggest names in Hollywood, music, and beyond. But now, even those glamorous events are being scrutinized with fresh eyes. Guests have come forward with unsettling stories of boundaries pushed, discretion demanded, and pressure to sign NDAs just to attend. Some recall witnessing moments that made them deeply uneasy, unsure how or if they could ever speak out. And then there's the ever-present question of the tapes. If those recordings exist, they might just be the key to unraveling not only Diddy's alleged empire, but the entire culture of silence that let it thrive. In the voicemail, Diddy sounds angry, warning, "I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm about to disappear on you. I'm not playing these games anymore. If you think you can give me the silent treatment, you're in for a rude awakening." Yet, even as the walls close in, there remain those who defend him. Supporters claim the allegations are exaggerated, that Diddy is being targeted because of his immense success and influence. His legal team paints a picture of a misunderstood public figure whose flaws are being weaponized against him. But as more damning evidence comes to light, that narrative crumbles. The details are too specific, the stories too consistent, and, with every day, the cracks in Diddy's defense grow wider. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this case is the toll it has taken on those who once trusted him. Justin Bieber's emotional testimony has been a poignant reminder of the human cost when power goes unchecked. Once a wide-eyed teenager eager to prove himself, Bieber now finds himself at the heart of a legal battle that could change everything. His bravery has inspired others to come forward, but insiders say the emotional weight has left him leaning heavily on his inner circle, struggling to balance the demands of the trial with haunting memories. Yet through it all, Bieber remains resolute in his pursuit of justice and truth. But his story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. As the trial progresses, attention is shifting to the broader implications. What does this case reveal about the music industry at large? About a culture of power and privilege that has allowed figures like Diddy to operate without accountability for far too long? About systems that have failed to protect the most vulnerable? These are questions demanding answers, and the world is watching closely. What's unfolding feels inevitable. The fallout from this trial could be unprecedented. Whispers of more lawsuits and investigations swirl on the horizon. Other high-profile figures may soon find themselves in the crosshairs. Executives, artists, and insiders who once stood alongside Diddy are now quietly distancing themselves. Some settling disputes behind closed doors in hopes of avoiding public scrutiny. But the public is not so easily fooled. They demand accountability. They demand change. And for Diddy, his future now hangs in the balance. If convicted, the consequences could be devastating, not just for him, but for everyone complicit in his alleged crimes. This trial is far more than a celebrity scandal. It is a reckoning, a moment of truth for an industry long cloaked in shadows. For Justin Bieber, though, the scars run deeper than any headline can capture. His testimony stands as a powerful testament to resilience, but also a grim warning of what happens when unchecked power runs rampant. What happens next could determine not only the fate of Sean Diddy Combs, but the future of an entire industry. Will the truth finally prevail, or will the culture of silence win once again? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, the story is far from over.